let's go meet the chef.
Here are the most important things I learned about making Japanese-style tempura from a lifelong tempura chef.
I'm very excited. How long have you been making tempura?
僕のお父さんが1代目で、僕が2代目なんで、この生まれてから天ぷらっていうのにはもう
Chef Arai spent a whole afternoon teaching me the most important aspects of making light and crispy tempura, and there are two very critical things.
この2つだけ
They're
は
all
大事。
important, right?
Yeah. But these two.
So these two might be the
Yeah,
most.
maybe the
So,
most.
I see.
The first is the batter. A lot of recipes online use all-purpose flour, but wheat flour is actually what's used in Japan to make tempura.
今その薄力粉っていう日本で言われてる軽い粉なんだよね。必ず一回やるときに要はふるいかけてふるいって何
Before you use it, you need to shift it.
Sift it.
Yeah.
そうそう。
Yeah.
When you're starting to prepare the batter, try to make sure the ingredients are as cold as possible. So place an ice pack or ice water beneath your bowl.
別に
Protein is golden.
タンパクやっぱ黄身だけの方が色が綺麗に出る。で、あと粗いお酒を大さじ1杯持ってきてくれる。
And
when you're mixing the batter, don't overmix, because your tempura gets heavier as more gluten develops. Chef Arai's special technique is gently tapping the batter until it reaches the right consistency. One specific tip Chef Arai gave me for making beautiful shrimp tempura is to make small cuts under the shrimp and then press down on the cutting board until you can feel these small pops. This will keep your shrimp from curling up while frying, so you get the iconic straight tempura like you see in the restaurants.
コットンシードオイルとセサミオイルのキャノーラナタネとかでも大丈夫だし。
Cottonseed oil gives you a lighter tasting tempura, but because it's difficult to find at home, vegetable oil is completely fine. And to give the tempura a delicious nutty flavor, Chef Arai adds 20 to 30% sesame oil. The second critical thing is oil temperature. You want to keep the oil temperature as close to 170 degrees as you can while frying. Too low and your tempura will come out oily, too hot and your tempura will burn. Because Chef Arai has decades of experience, he can tell when the oil temperature is just right. But to get the best results at home, definitely try using a thermometer. And lastly, it takes about 1 to 2 minutes for the shrimp to cook, but Chef Arai says you can also tell that it's done when the bubbles start slowing down or disappearing, especially around the tail.
This one? Yes. You can pick up that one.
The results were seriously unlike any tempura I tried back home in the States. Super light, crispy, and delicious shrimp, without the heavy feeling of oil. Of course, I took all of the notes from class and tried recreating it at home. And although it was not as good as when I made it with Chef Arai's supervision, it was still incredibly delicious, and about maybe 80 to 90% as good as I remembered. So I hope these takeaways will help you make delicious tempura at home too. There's a saying in Japanese that goes ichigo ichie, and it roughly translates to once in a lifetime. I think this saying really captures how I feel about the entire experience. From getting to chat with Chef Arai about his life as a tempura chef, to the hands-on masterclass in the kitchen, and to the special lunch course we enjoyed afterwards prepared by Chef Arai himself. It was incredibly special to hear the stories from his life as a chef, such as his adventure to acquire the freshest ingredients in Paris to serve at a dinner between the French president and the Japanese prime minister, or how he would love to one day spread tempura to the world by opening a restaurant in Los Angeles or San Francisco. We even heard about his thoughts on how Japanese culture has changed over the years. It's one thing to visit a different country and see the sights, but it's an entirely different thing to really get to know the people who live in that country, what they hope to achieve, and what they're proud of. Learning about Japanese food and culture from a master chef while tasting the best tempura I've ever had is such a unique and extraordinary experience, and it's something that I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Do you have any tips for first-time tempura makers?
ハートかな。
Hot.
美味しいのを作るぞっていう。